Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class, we were discussing about the prime ministerial form of government. And till now, we have discussed about two demerits of prime ministerial form of government. And in last class, I gave you one assignment to find out the third demerit of the prime ministerial form of government. But friends, the answer of none of the students was right. But I really want to appreciate the effort of all those students who at least try to give their answers. Okay, so I really want to appreciate the effort of all those students who at least try to give their answers. So now let's start today's session. So now we will discuss about the third demerit of the prime ministerial form of government. So friends, please see on the screen. So let's suppose this is the Prime Minister of India. Okay, this is the Prime Minister of India. And in yesterday's class, I told you the name of this Prime Minister is, let's suppose the name of this Prime Minister is Mr. X. Okay. Now friends, let's suppose this person in green color. Okay, this person is green color is the son of Prime Minister. Okay, so this person is green color is the son of Prime Minister. And friends, let's suppose that this person in the orange color, so she is the daughter. She is the daughter of Prime Minister. Okay, so this is the son and she is the daughter of Prime Minister. Now friends, let's suppose father, okay, father, son and daughter. They three are sitting in a room and they all are watching television. Okay, so they all are watching television. Now son and daughter will ask to their father that father, how was the day today? Okay, how was the day today? Now father is in little tension. Okay, today the prime minister is in a little tension. Okay, so prime minister will tell to his son and daughter that my dear son and my dear daughter, I have one tension. There is one question in my mind and that question is continuously striking my mind. So now son and daughter will ask that father, what is that question? So now prime minister will tell that I am just thinking that should I increase the prices of LPG cylinder or not? Should I increase the prices of LPG or not? Okay, so what is LPG? So you all know, I think, that LPG is liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, means this is domestic gas which is used in India for cooking purpose. Okay, so now the prime minister is saying that I have one tension that should government increase the LPG prices or not. Okay, so government increase the LPG prices, should government decrease the LPG prices, or government should keep the LPG prices constant. Now friends, definitely he is the son of prime minister. Okay, he is the son of prime minister and she is the daughter of prime minister and they are educated, they must be getting their education in very good schools. Okay, and definitely their teachers must have taught them that LPG is a fossil fuel. Okay, so LPG is very precious, but actually they have never met the people of India. So they don't know what are the problems of the people of India. They don't know that LPG is the basic cooking gas and without LPG people will suffer. And if government will increase the prices of LPG, then many people will not be able to cook their food properly. So now son gave a suggestion to his father that father, LPG is very precious. It is a fossil fuel. Okay, so we have limited reserves of LPG. So you should increase the prices of LPG so that people should consume less of LPG. Now daughter is also studying in same school. So now daughter also gave the same advice to the father that father, I also think that you should increase the prices of LPG so that people should use less LPG and they should go for alternate fuels. So now what PM is thinking that yes, my son is saying correct and my daughter is saying correct. Okay, so now PM is in the mood to increase the prices of LPG. So now what is the mood of prime minister? Now the mood of prime minister is to increase the prices of LPG. Now let's see what will happen further. Now friends, as you can see on the diagram, next day Prime Minister will go to his office, okay, and he will call for the cabinet meeting. So you can see that this black rectangle is Council of Ministers, this green rectangle is cabinet and this big red dot is prime minister. So next what will happen, that prime minister will go to his office and then he will call the cabinet meeting. Okay, he will call cabinet meeting, and in cabinet meeting he will inform to all the ministers that now the government will increase the prices of LPG. Government will increase the prices of LPG. And friends, as I have told you that here prime minister dominates the cabinet, so the decision taken by the prime minister will be accepted by all other cabinet ministers. So this decision will become the decision of cabinet, and the decision of cabinet automatically becomes the decision of council of ministers. Okay, so here what will happen, that prime minister will say that we will increase the prices of LPG and the prices of LPG will be increased. So now what we can conclude on the basis of this story? Okay, what conclusion can we make out of this story? So we can conclude out of this story that prime ministerial form of government can give rise to extra constitutional authorities such as kitchen cabinet or inner cabinet. Okay, so prime ministerial form of government can give rise to extra constitutional authorities. Extra constitutional authorities means those authorities which are not given in constitution, those authorities which are not given in the constitution, those authorities which do not have the legitimate power to take decision. Why? For example, if this is prime minister, okay, this is the son of prime minister and she is the daughter of prime minister. Okay, so now we all know that the son of prime minister is neither a member of parliament nor he is a minister. Similarly, the daughter of prime minister is also neither the member of parliament nor she is the minister. Okay, so the son and daughter of prime minister is not the members of parliament and they are not ministers, means they do not have the authority, they do not have the legal authority to take decisions for the country. Okay, so they do not have the legal authority to take decisions for the country. But friends, as he is the son of PM and she is the daughter of PM, so prime minister is taking their advice, prime minister is continuously taking their advice, and the three, okay, so these three persons means the prime minister, her daughter and his son. Okay, so prime minister, his son and his daughter, these three persons are taking decisions on behalf of country. So this, okay, so we can call this body as inner cabinet or kitchen cabinet. So inner cabinet or kitchen cabinet means this is a cabinet within cabinet. Okay, so for example, let's suppose this is cabinet, so inner cabinet means this is a cabinet within cabinet. Okay, so prime ministerial form of government can give rise to extra constitutional authorities which do not have the legitimate power to take decision for the country. These extra constitutional authorities can be kitchen cabinet or inner cabinet. For example, here prime minister, okay, his son and his daughter, these three persons are taking decision on behalf of country, and the body of these three persons is known as kitchen cabinet or inner cabinet. But the son of prime minister and the daughter of prime minister do not have the legitimate power, do not have the legal power to take decisions for the country. Why? Because they are students. Students do not have the power to take decision for the country. They are not the ministers or the members of parliament. Okay, so this is the third demerit of prime ministerial form of government, that it can give rise to extra constitutional authorities such as kitchen cabinet or inner cabinet. Now friends, the term kitchen cabinet first came into being during the reign of Indira Gandhi. Okay, so when Indira Gandhi was the prime minister of India, so at that point of time the kitchen cabinet was first came into being. Now friends, actually we were discussing about the notions in the parliamentary form of government, means the type of government in parliamentary system. So till now we have completed our discussion with prime ministerial form of government. So prime ministerial form of government is the first type of government which can come into existence in any parliamentary system. Now the second notion in any parliamentary form of government is the cabinet form of government. Okay, so now we have completed our discussion with prime ministerial form of government. Now we will start our discussion with the cabinet form of government. And what is cabinet form of government? It is the second notion or second type in any parliamentary form of government. So now I will explain you what is the meaning of cabinet form of government. So friends, here on the screen you can see a diagram of council of ministers. Okay, so this black rectangle is council of ministers, and all these blue dots are ministers. This green rectangle is cabinet, and all these green dots are cabinet ministers, and this big red dot is prime minister. Now friends, for the formation of prime ministerial form of government, I told you about three conditions. So the first condition was that prime minister should be the undisputed leader of his party. Okay, prime minister should be the undisputed leader of his party. The second condition was that prime minister has brought victory to his party in the elections. And the third condition was that the political party has the political party, a single political party has absolute majority in Lok Sabha. Now friends, let us now again think over these conditions. Now friends, let's imagine that now this person, okay, so this person X, who is the prime minister, now this person is not the undisputed leader of his party. So now the condition is reversed. So now this person X is not the undisputed leader of his party. Now what does it mean? It means that there are other competitors in the party also. Means this person also want to, please see on the screen, I am highlighting the persons. So let's suppose this person also wants to become the leader of party. This person is also a very assertive person, so he also wants to become the leader of party. And this person is also a very assertive person, so he also wants to become the leader of party. Okay, so means there is a competition. Okay, so now this person X is not the undisputed leader of party. There are other members in the party also who want to become the leader of party and then the prime minister of India. So there are other persons in the party also. There are other persons in the party also who want to become the leader of party and they want to become the prime minister. Okay, so now what they will do? So now every time if any decision is taken, so every time what they will do, they will try to assert themselves in decision making. Now what does it mean? It means that now whenever any decision will be taken, so every time these three persons, what they will do, now these three persons, they will try to assert themselves in decision making. Means now they will try that their suggestions should be implemented in decision making. For example, if a decision is to be taken, okay, and let's suppose that this decision is proposed by any minister and this decision is having 5 points. Okay, so this decision is having 5 points. Now prime minister is agreed on the first 3 points and prime minister wants that next 2 points should be removed from the decision. But now let's suppose these three ministers, okay, these three ministers want that this person should not remain the prime minister. In the next election, he will think that I should become the prime minister. He will think that I should become the prime minister, and he will also think that I should become the prime minister. So what they can do, they will say that no, fourth point is correct, you should keep this in decision making. Fifth point is also correct, you should keep this in decision making. We are not agree with second and third point. Okay, we are not agree with second and third point, and we are also agree with first point. So now there will be a clash. There will be a clash within the cabinet. Okay, so this will happen if the leader is not the undisputed leader of his political party. Now let us imagine the second condition. Okay, so what will happen? So now friends, this time what happened, that this person X, means the leader of political party, he alone has not brought the victory to his party, but it is the effort of all the big ministers, it is the effort of all the members of the party or all the important members of the party in whose name people gave their vote. Okay, so for example, people gave their vote due to the efforts of this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Means people didn't give vote only on the name of the leader. People gave vote on the name of party. People gave vote due to the influence of the various members of the party. Okay, so now this time what is the condition? The condition is that the leader has not brought victory to the party, but it is the effort of all the members of the party that party got victory in the elections. And now we will leave the third condition as it is, because it is not that much important in the cabinet form of government. Okay, so now let us move further. So friends, now if these three conditions are like that, the first condition is that the person is not the undisputed leader of his party. The person is not the undisputed leader of his party. Means there are other members in the party who are as influential as prime minister. There are other members in the party who are as assertive as prime minister, and they are the next competitor for the post of the leader of party. Okay, and the second condition is that prime minister has not brought victory to his party, but it is the effort of all the members. Okay, so it is the effort of all the members that brought victory to the party. Okay, so friends, if these two conditions are met, then what will happen? That we will get a cabinet form of government. Okay, so here I am leaving the third condition. Okay, so if party is having absolute majority in Lok Sabha, then also cabinet form of government can form, and if a single party is not having absolute majority in Lok Sabha, then also cabinet form of government can form. Means the third factor do not have much influence in the formation of cabinet form of government. Okay, so here I am not considering the third factor. I am considering only two factors. That the first factor is that the person is not the leader of the party, is not the undisputed leader of his party. The person is not the undisputed leader of his party. Means there are other persons also who are as assertive as the prime minister, who are as influential as the prime minister. Similarly, it is the effort of all the members that party got victory in Lok Sabha election. So in this condition, what will happen? That cabinet form of government will form. Now friends, the next question is, what will happen in cabinet form of government, or which type of government is called as cabinet form of government? So friends, it is a style of government within the parliamentary form in which cabinet dominates over prime minister. Okay, so in prime ministerial form of government, what was the system? That prime minister actually dominates over cabinet. But here it is not the system. Here what is the system? Here actually cabinet dominates over prime minister. Okay, so here what happens? That cabinet dominates over prime minister. Now friends, prime minister exerts influence in decision making, yet he is not in the position to override the decision of cabinet. So in simple words, what happens in any cabinet form of government? That in cabinet form of government, cabinet dominates over prime minister. Okay, so now I will explain it to you in more simple words. So for example friends, if a decision is to be taken, okay, so let's suppose a decision is to be taken. Now friends, as I have told you that there are other persons also in the cabinet who are as influential as the prime minister, who are as assertive as the prime minister. So now let's suppose the prime minister is saying okay, and there are, let's suppose, 5 points in that decision. There are 5 points in that decision. Now prime minister is saying, I am agree with point number 2, 3 and 4, and point number 1 and 5 are not good. Okay, so they should be dropped off from this decision. But now the advice of prime minister is not that important. Why? Because now what will happen? That all the members of cabinet will discuss. Okay, so now what will happen? That all the members of cabinet will discuss on all the points of that decision. Okay, so first of all, what will happen? That all the members of cabinet will discuss. All the members of cabinet will do discussion on all the points of decision. Then they will do debate on all the points of decision, and after a healthy discussion and debate, they will arrive to any conclusion. Let's suppose all the members after a good debate arrive to the conclusion that first point should be included, second point should be included, and fourth point should be included, and third point and fifth point should be dropped off from the decision. But friends, as you can see in this diagram, that prime minister was saying that first point should not be included, but the cabinet has decided that the first point should be included. So now what will happen? That first point will be included. Prime Minister was saying that second point should be included, and cabinet is also saying that second point should be included. So there is no issue in the second point. So it will also be included. Now friends, regarding third point, Prime Minister was saying that it should be included, but cabinet was saying that it should not be included. So it will not be included. Now regarding fourth point, there is no problem. So it will be included. But for fifth point, neither prime minister was ready nor cabinet was ready, so it will also not be included. So what we can conclude from this story? So we can make a conclusion from this story that here you can see that for first point of the decision, prime minister was not ready. Okay, but cabinet was ready. So this point was included. Okay, so what we can conclude, and for the third point, prime minister was ready but cabinet was not ready. Okay, cabinet was not ready, so it was not included. So we can conclude from this story that in any cabinet form of government, cabinet dominates over prime minister. Cabinet dominates over prime minister means here the decision of the prime minister are not important. Here the decision taken by the entire cabinet is important. Here the decision are not taken by only prime minister. Here decisions are taken by entire body cabinet. And if prime minister is saying something else and the entire cabinet is saying something else, then the thing for which cabinet is agree, that thing will be implemented. Okay, so here the cabinet dominates over prime minister. Here cabinet dominates over prime minister. If prime minister is saying something else, cabinet is saying something else, then the thing will be implemented with which cabinet is agree. Okay, so here prime minister cannot override the decisions of cabinet, but cabinet can override the decision of prime minister. Okay, so what is the conclusion of this story? So the conclusion of this story is that in any cabinet form of government, cabinet dominates over prime minister. The decisions of cabinet are more important, and the decisions are taken by entire cabinet, and decisions are not taken by only prime minister. So now friends, let us discuss about the merits and demerits of cabinet form of government. So friends, the only demerit of cabinet form of government we will discuss now. Okay, so there is only one demerit of cabinet form of government, and that we will discuss now. So friends, I have told you that in any cabinet form of government, the decisions are taken by entire cabinet. Okay, and if decision is to be taken by entire cabinet, then the discussion is needed between all the members of cabinet. Okay, why? Because without discussing, how the members of cabinet will arrive to an consensus, okay, will arrive to an conclusion. Okay, so discussion is very important. Debate is very important for taking any decision in cabinet. Now friend, let's suppose that if there is any emergency in the country, okay, means let's suppose if any other country has invaded India, if there is emergency in the country. So if there is any emergency in the country, okay, and then who will take the decision regarding that emergency? Who will take the decision? So cabinet will take the decision regarding that emergency or regarding any condition prevailing in the country. Okay, and friends, I have told you that cabinet takes any decision after discussion, and any discussion takes time. Okay, so discussion and debate is a time consuming exercise. So if any decision is taken after healthy discussion and debate, then definitely it is a time consuming exercise. So what will happen, that the decision will be delayed, and this is not good during the crisis or emergency. Why? Because let's suppose if any other country has invaded India and the members of our cabinet are discussing, they are debating that whether we should talk to the leaders of that country or we should give order to our army to attack that country. Okay, so in this process the decisions can get delay, and delayed decisions can cause injury to our country. Delayed decisions can cause harm to the interest of our country. So the only demerit of the cabinet form of government is that in cabinet form of government, decisions are taken after discussion and debate, and discussion and debate is a time consuming exercise. So decisions can get delayed, which is not good during the time of emergency. So friends, now we will discuss about the merits of cabinet form of government. Now friends, as I have told you that in cabinet form of government, what happens, that all the decisions are taken by entire cabinet. Okay, means all the decisions are taken after discussion and debate. Okay, so all the members will discuss together about an issue. Okay, so all the decisions are taken after discussion and after debate. Okay, so debate is conducted and discussion is conducted, and after healthy discussion and debate, any decision is taken. So friends, if the members of cabinet are taking any decision after a healthy discussion, then what will happen, that they will consider all the pros and cons of that decision. Okay, so now they will consider all the merits and demerits of that decision. Means what can be the pros of this decision, what can be the cons of this decision. Okay, and all the members will tell that these can be the pros and these can be the cons of that decision. And then what all the members will try, then all the members will try to remove all the cons from that decision. Okay, and once all the cons are removed from the decision, then the decision will only have pros, then the decision will only have merits. So what country will get is a good decision. What country will get is a good decision. So it will serve the interest of the country as well as the it will serve the interest of the country and the people of the country. Okay, and it is the principle of the parliamentary form of government that any decision should be collectively taken. Any decision should be collectively taken by the Council of Ministers. So here what happens, that the cabinet collectively takes decision on behalf of Council of Ministers. Okay, so this is the merit or the advantage of cabinet form of government. So this is the merit or advantage of cabinet form of government. Now friends, with this our topic is completed. So now we will move toward next topic. Now friends, we will start a fresh topic and our topic is caretaker COM. So now I want to ask certain questions from you. So my first question is that what will happen if Council of Ministers loses majority in Lok Sabha? My second question is what will happen if Prime Minister dies or resigns from his office? And my third question is what will happen if Lok Sabha is dissolved? Okay, so my first question is that what will happen if Council of Ministers loses majority in Lok Sabha? So I have told you that if any party wants to form the government, then it needs at least 272 seats, means it needs the support of 272 members of Lok Sabha. Okay, it needs the support of 272 members of Lok Sabha. So let's suppose that any political party initially, okay, so after election, any political party initially got the support of 272 members. Okay, and that party got the support of 272 members. So okay, so let me make it more simple, that what happened, Lok Sabha election conducted. Okay, and after Lok Sabha election, a political party got 272 seats in Lok Sabha, and that political party get 272 seats in Lok Sabha. So that political party formed the government, means that political party formed the Council of Ministers. Okay, now later on what happened friends, due to certain political reasons, what happened, that 50 members, okay, 50 members of that political party, now out of these 50 members, some members resigned from that party and some members left the party. Some members joined any other political party. So what happened, that these 50 members left the party. And now if 50 members left the party, so how many members are left? Okay, so when you will calculate, so the result will come as 222. Okay, so result will come as 222. So now the party only has 222 seats in Lok Sabha. Okay, and the support of 272 members is needed to form the government. So in this condition what will happen, that government will fall. Okay, government will fall means now COM is no more in its office. Okay, so now government will fall, Council of Ministers will be dismissed. Okay, so what will happen, government will fall. Now let me explain you the second condition. So the second condition is what will happen if Prime Minister dies or resign. So I have explained to you in the previous classes that Prime Minister, who is Prime Minister? Prime Minister is the boss of Council of Ministers. So if Prime Minister dies or if he resigns, so what happens, that entire Council of Minister goes out of office, means entire Council of Minister is dismissed, or in simple word, the government falls. Okay, so in this condition also Council of Minister is dismissed. Now friends, what will happen if Lok Sabha is dissolved? So friends, we know that any political party forms the government who gets at least 272 seats in Lok Sabha. Okay, means Lok Sabha elections are very important for the formation of government, and Lok Sabha is dissolved means now Lok Sabha is empty, there is no member in Lok Sabha. So if there is no member in Lok Sabha, means no party has any member in Lok Sabha, because Lok Sabha is vacant. So any political party do not have any member in Lok Sabha. So in this condition also what will happen, that Council of Minister will be dismissed, or Council of Minister will go out of his office. Now friends, my question is that how the administration of the country will run in these conditions. Okay, so my question is that who will run the administration of the country in this condition? Who will run the administration of the country? Why? Because actually the administration of the country, who runs the administration of the country? So council of ministers run the administration of the country, and if council of ministers is not in his office, then who will run the administration of the country? Now friends, Article 74 of the Indian Constitution. Article 74 of the Indian Constitution says that the President shall have a council of ministers to aid and advise him in discharge of his executive functions. Okay, so what Article 74 says? That President of India should have a council of ministers, so to aid and advise him in discharge of his official functions. Now what does it mean? It means that President of India cannot work. President of India cannot function without a council of ministers. Okay, so president cannot do his work without council of ministers. Council of ministers is very necessary for president. Okay, so and I have told you that council of ministers carries out the administration of the country. Okay, so now the question is that in this condition who will run the administration of the country? Okay, and how the president will do his work? Why? Because president needs a COM. How the president will do his work? Why? Because president needs a council of minister to aid and advise him, and only when council of minister will give him advice, then only he can do his work, and he is the executive head of India, and if he is not allowed to work, then in this condition the entire executive work of India will be in pending. Okay, so what is our basic question? So our basic question is that who will run the administration of the country in the absence of COM? So please just pause the video and think for it for 2 minutes, then I will give you the answer. So friends, the answer to this question is caretaker COM, means caretaker council of ministers or caretaker government. Okay, so friends, in these three conditions, caretaker council of minister will come into existence. Okay, so in all these three conditions which I have told you, a caretaker council of ministers will come into existence, and it will continue in the office as caretaker government till the new council of ministers is formed. Okay, so so in these three conditions, means the first condition was when Council of Ministers loses majority in Lok Sabha. Okay, the second condition was when Prime Minister dies or resigns from his office, and the third condition was when Lok Sabha is dissolved. Okay, so when Lok Sabha is dissolved. So in these three conditions, in all these three conditions, when there is no permanent COM, when there is no permanent council of ministers, so a caretaker council of ministers will come into existence. A caretaker council of ministers will come into existence, means a caretaker government will come into existence, and this caretaker government will continue in the office of council of ministers till a new council of ministers is formed. Okay, so this caretaker government will continue to serve as the caretaker government till the new permanent council of ministers is formed. So friends, now all the functions of the council of ministers will be performed by caretaker COM, means now this caretaker COM will give aid and advice to the president of India, and now president will work according to the advice of caretaker council of ministers. And our main question was that who will carry out the administration of the country? So now caretaker government, caretaker COM will carry out the administration of the country. Okay, so now, and this caretaker COM will remain in his office until the new COM is formed. And how new COM will be formed? So for the formation of new COM, for the formation of new council of ministers, the fresh Lok Sabha elections are needed. So once fresh Lok Sabha elections will be conducted, okay, so then the party who will get 272 or more than that seats in Lok Sabha, that party will form the permanent COM, a permanent council of ministers. And until the new Lok Sabha elections are happened and any political party gets 272, any political party or the coalition of political party gets 272 or more than that seats in Lok Sabha, till then this caretaker COM will work as Council of Ministers, and this caretaker COM will do all the works of Council of Ministers. It will carry out the administration of the country. It will give aid and advice to the President of India. Now friends, if some students are not understanding the concept of caretaker COM, so now I will give you one example so that all students will be able to understand this concept very easily. So let's suppose friends, let's suppose that this is a house. Okay, so here I am drawing the diagram of a house. Okay, so this is nothing, this is just a rectangle, and let us assume that this is a house. Okay, so what is this? This is a house. Now friends, let's suppose that Mr. A, okay, Mr. A is the owner of the house. Who is Mr. A? So Mr. A is the owner of the house. Okay. Now let's suppose friends, Mr. A got a job in America. Mr. A got job in USA. So what he did, he just took a flight to America and he reached USA. So let's suppose that this is USA. So now Mr. A is in USA. Okay. So if Mr. A is in USA, then his house is vacant. Okay. So there is nobody in his house. But actually any house needs care. Okay. Any house needs care. Why? Because if nobody will take care of that house, then what will happen? That this house will become dirty. Okay, this house will become dirty. Why? Because spiders will start living in that house. Okay, spiders will start living in that house. Moreover, what will happen? That their dust will be accumulated on the floor of the house. Okay, so house will get dirty. Okay, so what do I mean to say? I mean to say that any house needs care. Okay, so if the owner of the house is not in the house, then who will take care of that house? So now friends, let's suppose that Mr. A appointed any other person, Mr. B. Okay, so Mr. A appointed any other person, Mr. B, and Mr. A told him that I will pay you 5,000 rupees per month. I will pay you 5,000 rupees per month, and moreover, you can also live in my house. Okay, what you have to do? You have to clean the floor so that dust do not accumulate there. Moreover, you have to clear all the spider webs, and you have to take care of my house. You have to mop the floor, you have to sweep the floor, and you have to keep my house clean. Okay, so what happened? That Mr. A promised Mr. B that I will give you 5,000 rupees and moreover 5,000 rupees per month, and moreover you can also live into my house. But what you have to do? You have to keep my house clean, or in other words, you have to take care of my house. So who is Mr. B? So Mr. B is now the caretaker of that house. So who is Mr. B? So Mr. B is the caretaker of this house. Caretaker means in the absence of actual owner. In the absence of actual owner, anybody else is taking care of that house. So similar concept we can use on Council of Ministers also. Okay, so we can use the similar concept on Council of Ministers also. For example, if the permanent Council of Minister is not in office. Okay, so permanent Council of Minister can go out of office because of many reasons. For example, if it loses majority in Lok Sabha, so then Council of Minister has to go out of office. The second reason can be if Prime Minister dies or resign. The third reason can be if Lok Sabha itself is dissolved. So in all these situations, what will happen? That the permanent or the real COM has to go out of office. But in this condition also, country needs someone to take care of it. Okay, so actually I have told you that for entire India, Council of Minister takes all the administrative decisions. Council of Minister decides that which bills to be introduced in Parliament. Council of Minister makes all the policies for the country. So if there is no COM, then who will take all the important decisions for the country? So in the absence of this COM, a caretaker COM. Okay, so caretaker COM means if original COM is not in the office, then a caretaker. Caretaker means this COM is the representative of original COM. So now this caretaker COM will perform the work of this COM until a new COM gets into the office, until the fresh elections for Lok Sabha takes place and a new COM is formed. Till then, what will happen? That this caretaker COM will take care of the country. So now I hope that you all must be very clear with the concept of caretaker COM. Now friends, there are some points which you need to know about caretaker COM. So friends, in 1971, what happened that Supreme Court declared that this is the government out of necessity and not choice. Okay, so Supreme Court declared that caretaker COM is the necessity of the country. It is not the choice of the people of India. It is a compulsion. It is a need. It is a necessity. It is not the choice. Okay, why? Because it is not elected by the people. Now friends, then what are the constitutional provisions regarding caretaker COM? So friends, I want to tell you that constitution is silent about caretaker council of ministers. Means there is no provision given in constitution about the caretaker COM. So constitution is totally silent about caretaker COM. So then you will ask that sir, how this COM is formed? So this caretaker COM is formed according to the conventions. Now what are conventions? Conventions means traditions of the government. Okay, so this caretaker COM is formed according to the conventions, means according to the tradition of the government. Okay, so we have adopted the parliamentary form of government from England. So we have adopted this tradition from England also. Okay, so caretaker COM works according to the convention. Now friends, as this is the caretaker government, means this is the temporary government, so it only does day-to-day works. It only takes day-to-day decisions of the administration. Okay, so here we need to keep in mind that it do not take any important policy decision. It does not take any important policy decisions. Okay, it only does day-to-day work of the government. It only does day-to-day work of the government, so that the administration of the country can run smoothly. Now friends, there are certain restrictions on caretaker COM. For example, caretaker COM is not supposed to financially commit the next government. Means caretaker COM should not take any decision which can financially oblige the next government. Okay, which can financially commit the next coming government. So it should not take any decision. It should not make any policy which can create a financial burden on the next coming government. Okay, so this is the first restriction. The second restriction is caretaker COM cannot enter into a treaty with any foreign country. Okay, so any caretaker COM cannot enter into a treaty with any foreign country. So as this is a caretaker COM, this is not the real COM. So its only work is to carry out day-to-day administration, is to carry out day-to-day work. It cannot make any major policy. It cannot take any important policy decision. For example, it cannot take any such decision which can financially commit the next government. It cannot do treaty with any other foreign country. It can only do day-to-day administrative works. But friends, now there is one more question. Let's suppose that there is a caretaker COM in the country. Okay, so there is a caretaker COM in the country, and what happens that any emergency condition arises. Okay, so what happens that any emergency condition arises. Now what will happen in the emergency condition? Okay, so what will be the powers of this caretaker COM in this emergency condition? So emergency condition can be of two type, external or internal. Okay, so emergency condition can be of two type, external emergency or internal emergency. So friends, whether the emergency condition is external or internal, in these conditions caretaker COM can act firmly. Okay, so in these two conditions caretaker COM can act firmly, and in these conditions caretaker COM is allowed to take all the important policy decisions. In these conditions, means in the condition of national crisis, in the condition of emergency, caretaker COM can take all the important policy decisions. Caretaker COM has the full authority. Caretaker COM has the full power. Okay, so if there is any emergency condition, if is there any national crisis, it can be external or internal. In both these situations, means in the situation of national crisis, caretaker COM can act firmly. Caretaker COM can take all the important policy decisions, so that it can protect the country, so that it can serve the interest of the country. So we can conclude. Okay, so what conclusion we can draw from this story? So we can draw a conclusion from this story that caretaker COM is put in a restrictive mold. Okay, so caretaker COM is put in a restrictive mold and not in a rigid mold. Okay, so what is the difference between restrictive mold and rigid mold? So restrictive mold means in the normal conditions, there are certain restrictions on the caretaker COM, but during emergency caretaker COM has the full authority, full power. And rigid mold means whatever is the condition. Okay, means whatsoever is the condition, there are the restrictions which are put on the COM will remain into operation. Okay, so rigid mold means the caretaker COM will be subjected to the restrictions regardless of the condition. Means whether there are normal conditions in the country or whether there is emergency in the country. Okay, so whether there is normal conditions or there is emergency, in both the conditions the restrictions will be imposed on caretaker COM. So this is known as rigid mold. But in India, rigid mold is not applied on the caretaker COM. In India, the restrictive mold is applied on the caretaker COM. So restrictive mold means in the normal conditions there are certain restrictions on the caretaker COM, but during emergency there are no restrictions on the caretaker COM. Caretaker COM can take all the important policy decisions and can act firmly to protect the interest of the country during any emergency. So we can conclude that in India, caretaker COM is put under restrictive mold. So friends, with this the topic of caretaker COM is now completed. So friends, I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have liked the lecture then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, select all, and share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC. Friends, please download the notes from my website prashantias.com or from the link given in description. Now we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.